What's going on, everybody? It's Sincere again. Just wanted to take the opportunity to expound on the topic from yesterday about being selfish and being selfless. I asked a question yesterday regarding is it selfish to want somebody back or not? I said it was, and I said that it's more loving to sit there and want somebody to either get the healing that they need or to find their way on their journey. And to continue that even further, I started to look at myself even more and realized that I was doing things for other people. I was essentially a people pleaser. I wanted to go hard for everybody else but myself. So when I failed, it was like the worst feeling in the world. It was like emptiness. And so, I would set my goals for my kids and say, I want to do this for my kids and fail miserably. Or I would set goals for my fiance and say, I want to do this and fail miserably. And when you fail and you fail trying to do something for somebody else, then it's like an even worse feeling. And also, when you work doing stuff for other people, whatever change that you invoke is temporary. But what I'm learning is, as I'm learning to love myself, as corny as that may sound, is a real thing. But as I'm learning to love myself, I realize that when you do stuff for you, then it becomes permanent. So when you choose to eat healthy because of that's what you want to do, then the effect becomes permanent. When you choose to work out every day and get up because you know you got to get up so that you can feel better, that's when it becomes permanent. And so I'm having to learn how to do things for me. Like today I did something super simple, but it was nice. So what did I get? I got the dog something, like some treats, which was cool. That wasn't really for me, but that was me being responsible. And I got myself a shirt, which was needed because it's cold, starting to get cold out here, and I needed something to stay a little bit warmer. So little things that I do for myself make me feel really good. So I'm just glad to be able to have the opportunity to do these things because before I never did anything for myself. I wouldn't even buy myself a pair of socks. I'd go ahead and go broke for everybody else and feed everybody else and have scraps. But that's not loving yourself. That's putting everybody else before you and devaluing yourself at the same time. To be honest, it's more of a warped way of loving people. Because if you really want to love somebody, you have to love yourself first. That way you have something to offer them. Now, I was talking to my fiance the other day, and, I was realizing how she's been telling me this for a long time, that in order for me to truly find value, I have to learn to love myself. And that is a amazing thing to finally comprehend. It was like a light bulb went off, and I was like, whoa. I had the right idea that I wanted to change, but my motivation was the wrong thing. I was trying to do it for somebody else. I was trying to do it for this person, that person. But I never did anything for me. And so now I'm trying to look at every decision that I make, whether it's waking up early, whether it's going to work out, or whether it's what I eat, what I drink, what I say even. I'm looking at every little detail and analyzing it because I have to realize and ask myself, is it loving me? Is it setting a standard for myself? Because if you don't have a standard for yourself, then you can't really love yourself. Like, let's just use the health example, for example. If I want to look a certain way in my mind, then I have to set a standard, which means I can't eat McDonald's. Even though it's cheaper, I can't eat McDonald's. That means I have to change my mind frame and look in Kroger's and go into the fruit and veggie section and find something that may be less than what I would get at McDonald's as far as portion, but would make my body feel great on a cellular level and spiritually. And just mentally knowing that I chose to do something that was beneficial to me and my body. Because there's nothing better than when you feel good about you. Because that's when you don't need somebody else's approval. You don't need somebody to tell you, oh, you look good. Because I felt so bad about myself when people would say, oh, you look so handsome or you're so fine or whatever, it would almost go to my head, but I would also reject it in the same sentence because I didn't believe it myself truly. And so I ended up looking for all this validation in the wrong places, and it affected my relationship, to be honest with you. It put myself and my love in the wrong place. And all that's due to me and my own immaturities and insecurities. But as I'm learning to grow up and mature and face my own fears, I realize that you have to find everything inside yourself because God equipped you with everything you need internally. That's like a real thing. You know, I mean, you need external help for sure, because that's when you get outside opinions. That's when you get a full perspective of what is and what isn't. Because a lot of times we grow up with other people's perceptions, and then it intertwines with our own experiences, and that's what creates what we are. But that's not life, period. A lot of times we have to look into other people's lives and see how they did things, how they do things, and what helped them to get to where they were, or what mistakes that they made, so that we can either learn to avoid it, learn to follow it, and just be better because of it. And so I'm learning now how one must really grow. And you can't be afraid of growth. You can't be afraid of the pain that comes with it. You actually have to embrace it, because there's nothing but goodness that comes from it. And as much as I apologize to my love for the mistakes that I've made, the hurt that I caused, I realize the best apology is through change of who I am as a person on the inside. I can say all that I want to say. I can say all the sweet things, because I'm good at that. Naturally, I just do. I'm a loving person. I can't help it. But I realize that those words that I said have to have real weight behind them. And the only way for them to have real weight behind them is to mean what you say and let your actions speak for themselves, because actions will always speak louder. Actions will always show who you really are. And so my apologies is through this, and through learning how to be real with myself and be brutally honest, so that I'm not having any misconceptions of who I am, what I'm feeling, what I'm strong at, what I'm weak at, and not overcompensating or underestimating myself, because those things are truly important if you want to have a real long-lasting relationship of any sort. And again, the root of it all is learning to love yourself, because you can't love other people if you don't love yourself. You can try to give a flawed version of love, but that's exactly what it is. It's a flawed version of love. So I'm hoping that everybody can chime in, throw some input, throw some comments, help a brother out. I'm trying to, get deeper into this, because my perception isn't the only perception, and I would love to learn from other people just as much as you can learn from me. And I promise on this channel I'll be brutally honest with myself and with you guys, because without honesty, without loyalty, what do you have? So again, till tomorrow, this is Sincere, and I am out.